Hello again, and welcome to the weekly devotionals, Healing with Hecate. My name is Cece, and I'm a devotee with the Covenant of Hecate. It's 11 a.m. Pacific where I'm from, so we're just getting started, and I'm just finishing setting up here while we wait for others to join. And please, as you're joining, feel free to say hello so that I know you're here, because I can't always see, I can't see who's here, I can only see the numbers, so feel free to say hi while we finish setting up here. And we'll be starting at 11:03, so in 3 minutes. Getting all my scripts up here, not that I follow my scripts, I try to. Okay. A couple of you joining there, hello and welcome. All right. So as usual, you don't have to have any special things at home for these devotionals. I'm trying to keep them as simple as possible so that everybody can do them and make them part of their daily practice if they can, just showing just the simple things. So we have, I have my statue. I always have a statue for my focus, and I have a candle and liquid libation and incense out of screenshot that you can't see. And also I have a little bit of anointing oil for myself. And we have a prayer wheel. I use a prayer wheel, the Yinks or Whirligig. Hello, Christopher. Thanks for joining. Just waiting for everyone to join. We have 5 people right now visiting. And we're just going to wait. Oh, 1 more minute now. So again, you don't have to have your own candles and stuff. But you can, once you start coming to these, you'll get used to how it's, I try to keep it the same, right? Routine to practice over and over again. The repetitiveness is what helps us make this work. Hello, good morning. 2 a.m. Nicola, holy, it's 11 a.m. here. Big difference. So, all right. I have oat milk and a little bit of honey for my libation. Haley, hello. Excuse me for always zooming my own face in. I'm reading my tiny little screen there to make sure I see everybody coming in. Hello, Mark. Thank you for joining. Just 1 more minute, we'll begin. If you've not done so, maybe do any cleaning of your spiritual miasma, your spiritual dirt. Do so with smoke cleansing, crystal cleansing, anointing yourself, lots of different ways. Okay, I just noticed I have this bottle of patchouli and the roll-on thing. I think it's a tiger's eye. I just noticed that. Distracted. Okay. 11:03. Here we go. All right. Again, feel free to say hi below. Don't worry, that won't interrupt anything at all. We are going to begin by saying welcome again, and to those who are new, to Healing with Hecate Devotionals. It's live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Central on the Covenant of Hecate Network Facebook page. It's posted later on YouTube, on the YouTube channel of the Covenant of Hecate. I'm Cece, and I'm a Torchbearer within the Covenant, and I'm here to bring this hopefully simple weekly devotional. I'm staying in my pajamas today just to show how simple this can be, and I like that it has constellations all over it and it fits with what we're doing. So anyway, what we're doing each week is we're lighting incense and candles and pouring libations as offerings to the Goddess Hekate, the goddess of witchcraft, crossroads, liminal spaces, and transformations, and so much more, while we recite hymns, share our gratitude, and state affirmations. Sharing our gratitude raises our energetic vibrations by bringing our attention to all the things that fill our heart with joy and helps others experience that joy as well. Affirmations are simply just wishes or prayers said as positive statements to help attract those joyful things. And for those of you that don't understand, maybe, witches and spells and stuff like that, Spells are just prayers with props. That's how I think. Just my opinion. Spells are prayers with props. I've heard that somewhere before and I loved it. All right. It's important that we state our wishes and prayers as positive statements, affirming that they have already been granted, because the divine acts like a mirror, giving you more of whatever you're feeling in your heart. We make statements like, I am brave, or my body is healthy, instead of I wish to be brave, or I want to be healthy. Otherwise, we'll always be wishing and wanting for those things. So also, we want to refrain from saying what we don't want. We don't want to say things like, I am anxiety-free, or my illness is gone. Those words bring feelings of anxiety or illness and will only attract more anxiety and illness. Like attracts like is my belief. If you're praying for your illness to heal and you're focused on the illness, you will attract more illness. But if you focus on how it feels to be healthy, you'll receive more good health. So bring up those feelings that you've ever had in the past, of that really good feeling of health, and that's what you have to bring forth to focus on. Because your mind and your heart need to be aligned as one so that you can feel the joy of your desires and manifest them into reality. So just be careful what you wish for, because what you're wishing for in your head has to match your heart. So there'll be time after the session for sharing your experiences if you choose to do so. Please do your own cleansing of miasma or spiritual dirt prior to each session, such as smoke cleansing, ritual bathing, or sound cleansing. All right? And we will continue on. We're going to start with a portion of the Orphic hymn to Musaeus, hymn 1, which is Hecate Enodia. I call Enodian Hecate, lovely dame, of earthly, watery, and celestial frame, sepulchral in saffron veil arrayed, leased with dark ghosts that wander through the shade. Persian unconquerable huntress hail, the world's key-bearer never doomed to fail. On the rough rock to wander thee delights, leader and nurse be present to our rites. Propitious grant our just desires success, accept our homage and the incense bless. While I light this incense, please state 3 things you're grateful for in the comment section below. These can be 3 simple things or elaborate as you wish. You do not have to share it all. You can keep it to yourself. You can keep it in a journal. But as I said, sharing your gratitudes with others sometimes helps bring them joy too. And we know repetition works. So, I am grateful for my permanent happiness, health, love, and wealth. I am grateful that I bring forth from the universe everything that satisfies my heart's desires. I am grateful for the wisdom to make the most of my opportunities. Thank you, Val. I'm reading your gratitudes as you type them in. Haley, thank you. And Christopher, thank you. See, as I'm reading these gratitudes, I'm adding them to my own. Living in a beautiful town, grateful for family, grateful for friends, grateful for gardens, grateful for life, grateful for blessings in my life. Nicola, yes. Grateful for my loved ones, grateful for the goddess. I've seen that a few times. Absolutely grateful for the goddess. Then the goddess is, yeah. Just going to give it another moment there for others to share their gratitudes, help fill the joy. You can be grateful for a cup of coffee, grateful for sunshine, grateful for your pet. Grateful for a roof over your head, grateful for food, grateful for abundance of family and friends and support. I'm always grateful for my abundance of family and friend support. All right, we'll continue on. And if you're still typing, please continue to type and put it in the comments below. It won't interrupt us at all, and we'll read them later. All right, we will go on to call upon Hecate, Physis, or Physis, the goddess of nature and fate in the Chaldean oracles, and Orphic hymn number 9 to guide our journey in this life. O blessed goddess, hear thy suppliant's prayer, and make my future life thy constant care. Give plenteous seasons and sufficient wealth, and crown my days with lasting peace and health. Please state 3 wishes or desires in the comments written below, in the comments below, written as positive statements such as I am, I have, or I own, while I light our candle. It's 11:11. I love when the timing's right for the wishes like that. Thank you, Mercedes, for your gratitudes too. My repetitive affirmations for myself are, I have wonderful joy in a wonderful way, and my wonderful joy has come to stay. I am at peace with myself and the world. I love everyone and everyone loves me. I'm a spiritual being. My body is healthy and perfect because I'm made in the likeness and image of the divine. I get my examples of affirmations from the 1925 author Florence Scovel Shinn, and found that on YouTube if anyone's interested. Other affirmations that you can find that may be helpful and useful. I am capable of achieving my goals. I am worthy of love and respect. I am safe and surrounded by love and support. I am growing at my own pace. I am confident. And those examples came from a website that gives you 100 affirmations for better self-care. You can find lots of stuff like that. Thank you, Christopher. Yes. Exactly, Haley. Yeah, I am successful. I am brave. I have peace and love in my life. You'll find even sometimes when I'm just speaking off the top of my head, I fall back into that wishing language and not the present tense. You know, it's a lot of practice to keep speaking things into the present tense like that. So that's okay. You just correct yourself when you find yourself doing that. All right. So let's wait a moment more to see if there might be more people typing. I wish that the little dots would show that people were typing. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Good ones. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue on, but you continue typing, placing your comments below, and I will read them all later. We're going to go ahead to ensure that we're always walking under the light of the goddess's torches by her moonfire of her torches, and we're going to recite the 5 virtue prayer that's written by members of the Covenant of Hecate. Sacred Goddess Hekate, help me manifest justice in my actions, temperance in my soul, courage in my choices, wisdom in my words, compassion towards all beings. If you choose, please close your eyes for a minute and listen in silence for any guidance from the goddess. Listen from within for any insights or images that might have a connection to your affirmations. It could be images, colors, shapes, sounds, smells, even anything, right? So let us close our eyes for just a moment. Okay. We're going to raise our energy a little bit further and send out our affirmations using Voices Magicae, or the Ephesian letters used to call out to the goddess, and my geek's prayer wheel that I finally found. Hope I don't bust things here. SK Kataske, Aranorian Eor, Mega Samuar Boy, SK Kataske, Aranorian Eor, Mega Samuar Boy, SK Kataske, Aranorian Eor, Mega Samuar Boy, Fobanthia Semne, Hail Hecate, and thank you for your guidance and protection. Blessed are we who follow the moonfire of your torches. All right. Please stay a few moments if you wish to share any of your experiences. If you have anything that came through with your visualization or anything like that. I had one clear message myself saying, you're right where you're supposed to be. So that was a message that came through for me that I feel that might have come through from my affirmations and everything. Thank you, Nicola, for continuing to share. I brought out this because at the beginning of me doing these, I couldn't find this. This is one that my late husband and myself made when I was doing some courses with Jack Grail, learning about ancient Hellenism, learning about the Greek magical papyri, things like that, right? So one of the things is to craft your own whirligig. And back then we called it a strophalos because we didn't know that was not what this was, right? Sarita de Este sorted everything out with that for us. So this is like possibly a design from an old Mycenaean button or something. And it's been adopted as Hecate's wheel, and that's okay. It's okay to have a modern adaptation, but that's not historical, and that's okay. So I still keep it on that side. But when I learned this and did another part of one of Jack's courses, I just repainted the other side. This is, I think, from the book, the Hecatean book, anyway, that he wrote, one of his first book. And it's got the symbol on there and everything. So this was more in relation to that I was studying. So, as you learn and grow, right? Like you learn new things, but I didn't want to discard that because I kind of like it. And I'm holding it like this because if I let go of these strings, it'll unwind and you wanted to keep it tight. So yeah, like it was cut out of a big piece of wood and I painted it and some cordage and nice and heavy. But there's also people like on Etsy that sell them and make them. And so that's why I got this little one. It took some time to get used to because it's very, very lightweight, right? So this, like the wood's very thin, so it took me a little while to get used to it, but I did, and it works okay. It works really well. So yeah, and again, like the strophalos is not the name of the tool. The strophalos is not the name of the tool. The tool is a whirligig. The tool is like a prayer wheel, right? If you go on the Covenant of Hecate website and look at the blogs there, down the very, very first blogs, you'll see Sarita de Este, wrote a whole thing about the wheel and all that, about how we've come to adapt it and change it for modern times. And again, even the whirligig, the yinks, the yinks itself is not typical like of ancient Hecatean practice, right? That was more for, I'm trying to find my information here. That was more for Aphrodite. The magicians in ancient Greece believed that the sounds made by the whirling yinks, it's spelled IYNX, and the correct pronunciation of the voices magicae, or the Ephesian letters, aided in invoking divinities. So from the astral sphere. So that's why we use them. All right. So you have Astrophilos tattooed. Yeah. The labyrinth. Nice. It is. Labyrinths are good for meditating. Like something like this, like people will use a labyrinth to trace with their fingers or their eye to get into like a meditative state or a trance state sometimes. That's just a really short thing on the wheel that I was just excited that I found my old one that I got accustomed to using. It's quite powerful. Does anyone have anything that they had come through? Any questions or any visions? Oh, thank you, Val, for attending. And you don't have to stick around if you don't have any questions or you don't want to share any of your information that you might have received through the goddess and stuff like that. This is just extra time for anybody who has time, who might want to share anything. And if you ask me questions and I don't know the answer, I'll go look them up and then post them in the comments later, right? All right. I'm not seeing, seeing people. Okay. Yeah, you have a good day too. Thank you for coming. If nobody has anything else they want to share or discuss, then we can sign off. If you are typing right now and I'm cutting you off, please just continue typing and put it in the comments below. I'll just go read it in a few moments, right? Thank you, Mark, and thank you for attending. Thank you, everybody, for attending. These recordings are being preserved on the Covenant of Hecate channel on YouTube. They're being uploaded there after each session. Oh, Christopher, yes. We caught it just in time. Indistinct voices. Something. That could be an interesting search, yes. Looking more into that. Well, dogs and the dog star have been connected to Hecate, and you're going to have to go look up that because that's a whole other ballpark. Sirius, I think, is the name of the dog star. And that is the dogs and the dog star, yes, are very connected. And I think there's like a Pleiades shower coming up or happening, so that might have something, there is like, that's symbology that I would type in those words, and then sometimes I would type in Hecate with a K, Hecate with a C, and see if anything comes up with it, right? To see because there's so many people that have written things and posted them online that you'll get those, use your keywords when you're searching and find out lots of information about the symbology, but try to, where like, depends on what, like if you follow a pantheon or if you follow any kind of like path and tradition, what does it mean in your tradition? What is it telling you it means to you? Because it might not always be what it means to someone else as well. They say when dogs bark, though, Hecate's hearing your prayers. When you hear dogs bark afterwards, that's one of the signs. Okay, yeah, that is interesting. With the communication possibility there. Yep. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for attending, and I hope to see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And please remember to try to do your affirmations and your gratitudes every day. Try to make it a habit, not just on one day a week, but try to carry it forward. Very simple. A few minutes in the morning with your coffee before you start your day. Tell your day how it's going to go so your day can have a good you. All right. See you later.